Hi everyone! In today's video we're going to be looking at Lisa Eldridge's thrilling holiday releases. So watch on! Lisa Eldridge has created some limited edition sets and I have got the two best ones. I was so excited. I came in from work and there they were, and I was actually quite jaded and tired and kind of feeling end of the weeky, and then I saw these. Why would I not be excited? Here's what you need to know. This one is called the Sequin Suite, and inside there are 3 gloss embraces, which are sequin versions of her gloss embrace, and they are limited edition, and they are, I'm here to tell you, really thrilling. Can you see this beautiful artwork? It's done by an artist that to me is new. Her name is Blair Breitenstein, and she's basically a fashion illustrator. She's worked with the likes of Chanel and Prada and Saks Fifth Avenue and Nordstrom and Oscar de la Renta. I've got that written down as well. God, that's a blast from the past. As well as Hanro, as well as a myriad of other brands. Now, Lisa discovered her on Instagram. Now, look at this. For me, it's a kind of combination of Modigliani meets Sex and the City. And I mean Sex and the City, the original series, when it was really funny, you know. Possibly shouldn't have said that. But anyway, that's what this beautiful artwork is. So Lisa collaborated with Blair and created this beautiful artwork. And it clearly, Lisa is utterly enthused and inspired by this wonderful artist, this wonderful illustrator. This has basically got the lip glosses in, but the other kit, which is called Mirrorball Eye Kit, has also got limited edition shades, and these are in the liquid lurex. But again, have a look at the artwork. Look at these girls. So this artist's sort of whole aesthetic is basically to focus on the eyes. There's very much a vintage vibe, and it's kind of quirky and abstract while still being, you know, chic. It's a kind of expressionistic take on high fashion. I'm here for it. I'm slightly fed up of gold and, you know, shimmery packaging for the holiday season. So I think Lisa's done something different, a bit like Clé de Peau with the crossbreeding. I think that's, and the train, you know? That's something new and exciting and really super creative. I think she's managed to do something here. So let me tell you about the products. Spoiler alert, I'm wearing one of the liquid lurexes and one of the sequin glosses. So let me tell you about them. The liquid lurexes still come in the packaging of her existing liquid lurexes, which kind of makes me think, I know these are limited edition, but maybe they're not. Now, these are basically made in Italy. They've got a 6-month shelf life, and you get 2.8 ml, which is what you get in her the normal kind of incarnations of the liquid. When I say normal, I mean the permanent collection. Normal. Need to work on my language. Anyway, the permanent collection. So it's the same. It's basically the same deal. But with these, I should tell you that these liquid lurexes cost £57, but you get £63 worth of value in them, and you can, should you wish to, buy them separately. Well, have a look at the swatches now and see what you think, so you get a feel for the actual shades themselves. Also, the sequin lip glosses, which are actually called sequin glosses, they all are also available individually, and this set, which contains 3, is £50, but again is worth £60. So there is a bit of an incentive to go for these beautiful kits. I should tell you that the glosses are also individually packaged, but you get this special edition Blair Breitenstein packaging. Isn't that lovely? And actually all 3 have the same, just so you know, have the same young lady, looking extremely sophisticated. Let's take a look at the swatches, and then I can tell you about what it's like to wear these 2, and we'll try we'll try the rest of the shades on. Let's start with the Mirrorball Eye Kit. That's what that looks like. And let's start with the first shade, which looks like this. This is called Aria, and it's a clear, true, cool silver shot through with bright silver glittery pearls. I'm just going to put a sort of thin layer, but just a little bit here, just so you can see. If we kind of just smudge it out, you get a slightly more sheer silvery effect, but you can build it up, as I discovered earlier this evening. If you put more on, you can definitely get that. You can go full disco. This is what Lisa calls the party before the party. Now this works well as a sheer wash of sparkly shine, Lisa tells us, or built to a soft metallic. Yeah, I mean, it is a soft metallic, but it's definitely got, look at that sheen. I mean, you've got a lot of metallic there. It's delightful and lovely and smooth. And now on to Rosalie. Now, Rosalie is a warm peachy rose. I'm going to do the same here. Look, I'm just going to put a little bit here, and I'm just going to blend it with my finger. Can you see that? So as I say, it's a warm peachy rose with subtle pink gold pearl for a soft metallic finish. This is more muted. There's presence, but not pizzazz, I would say. And finally, Selene. Now this, I have to say, is the one that I am very keen to get on my eyeballs. Again, let's just do a little smidge and see what we get. There's more intensity here, it seems to me. That's what that looks like. So Selene is a tarnished, cool-toned, greenish silver with pink, violet, metallic pearls. Now Lisa tells us it's smoky and metallic, and it's absolutely her favourite. And this is kind of a holy grail shade for her, in that this is the shade that she feels in her career she has chased the most, to give wonderful, cool, edgy definition, but that's also beautiful and refined. So there's all three of the shades and how they compare. Very smooth and beautiful. And here we have the Sequin Suite. And just so you can compare it to the Mirrorball eye kit, the girls are different. The design is different, but obviously done by the same wonderful artist. Okay, so we have got 3 limited edition sequin glosses in the Sequin Suite. So let's take a look. The first one is Kensington Plum. Now this is a natural sparkly shade, which is lovely on its own, says Lisa, but she also invites us to put it on top of a lip liner that's kind of covered our lips as well. It's such a wearable shade, this one. Just easy. It is definitely natural, but it's got something going on that gives you that festive vibe. Shot through with a little bit of burgundy, a little bit of mauve. It's lovely. Easy to wear. And then we have Peekaboo Pink. Look at this. Oh, so lovely. Right, so what this one is, it's a hot fuchsia. And it's glittery, of course. And it's great on top, she says, of a red lip liner, or if you put a dark lip liner all over the lip, which actually is what I've got on. That's what that looks like. So lovely. You can actually see, if you look at the product in the actual component, you can see the shade just changes. It's lovely. I really like this one. And then we have Chameleon Chaos. Now, if you thought that one was shifty, look at this. Lots of shift there. Now, this is a pink to orange to gold duochrome. Let me just put enough on there so that you can really see it. There we go. Now, she says alone it's glittery and beautiful, which I think we can see that it is. And on top of a dark lip liner, it gives much more dimension if you want it. And there is how they all work together. Let me just show you what they look like. That's what they look like close up. And this is what they look like. Really lovely. And just so wearable. Fun, wearable, and not too much, unless you want to go all out. And who wouldn't over the holidays? So I have got Aria, which is the silver, and Peekaboo Pink on my lips. However, let me bring you closer. Peekaboo Pink is sitting on top of Lisa's Muse lip pencil. So just to remind you what that's like, I mean, this is why I like it. It's kind of a neutral pink. So I've basically filled my lips with that and then put Peekaboo Pink on top, just to give it a little bit more adherence and a little bit more depth. I have to say, I do really like it. Now, if I bring you closer so you can have a look at my eyes, there is a reason why I started off with this one to show you. I'm really not particularly a lover of gold or silvery eyeshadow unless I can really kind of control it, but I don't like so much that, you know, the real brightness. So this was very much, out of all three eyeshadow liquid lurex shades, this was the one that was the most out of my comfort zone. So I thought I would, you know, wasn't it Susan Jeffers, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway? I thought I'd do that. You know, I read that book a long time ago and I must have absorbed it, and of course it's come out in my conversation with you and liquid lurex, you see? Anyway, this is what this looks like. I literally just put 3 dots and I didn't use my finger. I used my, which one was it? This one. I used my Shodo 02 and just sort of brushed it on. And then, because I thought, let's go for something a bit more intense, just to test out the silver, as it were, I put another dot on each eye and gave it another little go. So that's the effect that you get. Now, the way Lisa describes this silver is, remember, she says it's a clear, cool silver shot through with glittery pearls. The thing that I will say that I notice, and I'm a fan of the liquid lurex as much as I am of the liquid eyeshadows, for mature eyes, they lie beautifully, they don't dry the eyelids, they don't go patchy, it's all super smooth. I could have just as easily used my finger, I just don't like using my finger, so I use a brush, but they're just no sweat, they're no effort, and they're really super quick if you've not used them before. But anyway, that's the effect that I got. Again, as I said, on my lips, I just used the Muse lip liner, and then put this on top. And just to remind you, I mean, I'll put a bit more on, it is very much shot through with these amazing kind of shimmers. Let me just see how Lisa describes it. A hot fuchsia that's glittery. I mean, yeah, it's really, really glittery. It probably looks even more fuchsia compared to my sort of pumpkin nails, but I'll put a bit more on just to show you. It's got a very nice usable doe foot applicator. I had bought the original incarnation of these when they first came out. They were just sort of straight lip glosses. And I remember liking them, but I didn't kind of repurchase. This, I think, is something quite special. I would never normally wear a metallic lip product. Not really. I mean, not never, but it's quite unusual. Regular viewers may know that I've recently bought the Dior Sunlit Amber, and that was, you know, I wasn't going to buy that. I kind of thought, oh, that's not going to suit me, and it was a lovely viewer who sort of encouraged me to buy it. As I said, I'm not really a metallic or glittery lip person, but this I happen to like. And for party season and Christmas season and just generally, why not? Cheer yourself up and, you know, so what? Do your ironing looking great. You know, I'd rather wear the lip gloss than do the ironing. I'm not a good ironer, but I'm just saying, who cares? You please yourself, don't you? This is great fun, I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'll just pull you away so you can see what the full effect is. As somebody who prefers, or my comfort zone really, is to have a sort of a more neutral or more muted lip, I still really like this, you know, easy to wear. And actually, once it's on the lips, it's not really scary. I thought it might be. I went for the 2 shades that were the most scary, thinking just do it and then we can start and we can have a look and see. But I don't find them that scary. I think it's lovely. I do. I think it's lovely and I think it's fresh. I'm going to go and take the eye makeup off now, and then we'll try another of the liquid lurexes. So I will be back. Okay, I've taken off the liquid lurex, but I've kept my mascara on basically for speed. However, and I think you know by now I don't have any self-control, I took out from its box the Chameleon Chaos lip gloss. Look at that. And I couldn't wait to put it on my lips. So I've already got it on. There's no lip liner, there's nothing. This is just all I've got on. Just have a quick look. And later I thought we will, because what I should be doing is putting a dark lip liner underneath, which is what Lisa recommends we do for a little bit more punch, and then putting this on top. So we'll do this afterwards, but have a look at it naked, as it were. I do like it. Nice and easy to use, nice and easy to wear, really. And here we have Rosalie. Now Rosalie is the warm peachy rose, which is shot through with pink and gold pearls. So I've got, what have I got? Refa 14. There are the 3 dots that Lisa recommends we maybe put a bit more. There we go. Let's just brush it on. Yes, I do apologise for my impatience in putting the lip gloss on. I should have done it with you, but you know, there is an old Greek phrase which is, are you ready? The priest blesses his own beard first. Isn't that great? So that was me and the lip gloss, but that's, you know, enough about my facial hair. At any rate, let's have a look at this. Rosalie, what a lovely name. I used to work with a girl called Rosalie who was the most beautiful and lovely girl. She had such a pure heart, and I felt, you know, I felt quite dark compared to her because she had a real purity about her, and I knew that in my, you know, I was just not capable of such purity, but she was really lovely. And she was actually the one and only Rosalie I have ever known hitherto in my life. Should we put a bit more on? Have a look. So this is one. Actually, should we bring it a bit closer while I whitter on? Hang on. There we go. So just compare it to the naked eye, as it were. Now what I can do one of each. How about that? Let's do one that's, leave this one naked, and let's do a slightly fuller application on this eye so you can see the difference. Now I should say I had a sort of an early start this morning, and I was on an early train. So I took my makeup bag, but I kind of took my train makeup bag, which was basically a Lisa Eldridge Lurex. And I'll tell you the one that I took. It was this one, which I think is called, can I see it? Daphne. This is sort of greeny. Now this is one that I think is probably worth comparing to the 3rd pewtery shade that you saw on the swatches, because it does come across as slightly green on my skin tone. I know it's meant to, but it'll be worth comparing in case you are a fan of Daphne, and to see how different it is and how it differs. I'll put a little bit more on here so you can see, and then we'll compare Rosalie as a fuller application compared to a more diffuse application. Let's see, how different is it? Okay, so this is the fuller application. What do you think? Do you like the shade? I like it. I find it a very wearable, easy shade to kind of just throw on, you know. I think the reality is the way I use these tends to be, you know, as I said, early starts or when there's just not a lot of time for makeup. And I think I would end up doing more this, because this is way too much really for, you know, during the day, for me anyway. But you still get that lovely metallic, smooth shimmer. And as I said, I've got very dry lids, so they're still nice and smooth. There's no dragging, you know. It's lovely. It's lovely, actually. And I think a very usable shade for all skin tones, I would imagine, whether you're warm or cool. Why don't I take this off now, and the lip gloss I mean, and let's put it on over a dark lip liner. Now I don't have one of Lisa's darker lip liners. The one that I use, and actually it's because I don't go through them that often, really, darker lip liners. I tend to wear a neutral one. This is Anastasia's Chai, and I'll show you how dark it is. It is quite, I mean, for me that's quite deep, quite a deep shade. So I'm going to put it on all over. I'll be back. Okay, so I've lined my lips with Anastasia's Chai and I've filled them as well. I haven't used this lip liner for a long time, and I've actually forgotten how much I really, really like it. So, you know, that's a good thing. Maybe this is a way of using it up. Let's see. So here we go. Chameleon Chaos, pink to orange to gold duochrome. There's a lot going on here. If this was a Natasha Denona eyeshadow, I would be going bananas over it. So let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can see already you're getting that sort of orangey tone that kind of shoots through it. I mean, it's very kind of, I was going to say vintage, but there's a kind of sophistication about this, even though It's clearly hugely fun. There is something quite grown up about it, and I suppose that's the party element of it. Yeah, I do like it, and I like it over the lip liner. I mean, it is more dramatic. I wouldn't do this during the day, but I absolutely would, you know, for an evening or going out for dinner or whatever. That's lovely. So we have Rosalie, and we have, I want to call it chaos, but it's not. It's Chameleon chaos. Of course it is. Of course it is. No karma here. This is the proper chameleon. Yeah. So that's, let me find them. That's these two here. What do you think? It's a lot of fun, isn't it? I'll go and take this liquid Lurex off my eyelids, and we'll try the last one, which I am very excited about because Lisa is most excited about this shade. So I want to see what all the fuss is about. I'll be back. I've lined my lips with Sculpt and Shade from Lisa Eldridge in 2C, just so you can see the difference. That's 2C there. Above is Muse, and of course below is the Anastasia Chai. So there is a difference between the 2C and the Muse. The 2C is deeper and is very kind of neutral. So they're kind of my two favourite lip pencils from her range. I've taken off the eye makeup. I just wanted to show you while we were here. This is Selene, the new shade that we're going to be trying today. And then here is Daphne in the liquid Lurex. This is the permanent collection. Daphne's a lot more olivey green, light olive green. And then above, I thought this was worth showing you. Here, oh, am I going the right way? Yeah, it's here. Is another liquid Lurex that I really enjoy, Anais. So I just thought those were worth it, because if you're attracted to those kind of shades, you might want to know whether Selene is that different. It's very different, isn't it? It's much more pewtery. You see it there. There we go. You can see it there. It's much more pewtery. Although Anais is, you know, it's sort of, it's a cousin. It's a sort of greenier cousin. I'm sure Anais Nin would be able to write a, you know, an interesting story about her cousin. At any rate, that's the difference. So let's get into, mustn't muddle them up. Okay, Selene. I was Refer 14 last time with Rosalie. I've got a clean Refer 14, same brush, and let's do it again. So I'm just going to remind you what this is. It's a tarnished, cool toned greenish silver with pink, violet, metallic pearls. There's a lot going on. Did I leave it too? No, I didn't. I thought maybe as I was reading the description, maybe I took too long, because these do dry quickly. You haven't got that much playtime. Although there's not that much to do, you know what I mean? By the time you've blended it a little bit, it's done. It's done. It's not like, you know, these are not high maintenance, unlike me. Okay. This is very wearable. I'm going to put some on the other eye, and then let's decide whether, shall I put a bit more of a generous application? Shall we see? I'll put it on straight on, sort of thing. You know, can you see I've put quite a bit on there? And let's see where we get to. That was possibly a mistake. Maybe it's better to layer it. But let's see, maybe... Gosh, I'm getting a lot of gleam on here, which is good. This is why I like these for train journeys. You can't spill them, you can't drop them, you can't break them, and they're dead easy. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of definition and drama here with not much effort. Let me bring you closer so you can really see. There is so much variety in this kit of liquid Lurex. That's what I like about it. The shades are all three of them, completely different. Much thicker application, fuller application, lighter application. What do you think? Generally, I have to say, I do like pewter as a tone. I find it, you know, the easiest of the silvery tones for me to wear. So, you know, for me, this is basically a bit of a slam dunk. I hope she makes this permanent. I think a lot of people are going to like this because you get this kind of 2 or 3 shades of eyeshadow effect with, you know, an idiot-proof swipe and a brush. And as we know, you can use your fingers. And I've seen Lisa use her fingers. It's fine. I'm just not a finger person if I've got the choice. What do you think to the difference? Because what I like about this is it's very daytime friendly. If you don't want to do this is definitely defined and I think quite sophisticated for such a simple product to use. That's kind of how I feel about it. I feel I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck in terms of just the swipe factor, as it were. Yeah, that's what I think. I'm going to try, I wasn't going to do this, but I will put a little smidge with a thin brush underneath. Let's see. I've not seen Lisa do this, but I'm up for the opportunity. Let's just take a little bit. I would never do this on a train, but let's see what we get. Oh no, it's fine. Oh, lovely. Okay. You just get a little bit more of it. Now, what I should say is the applicator, if you haven't used these before, you know, it's very sort of slimline. It's not a chunky dough foot. Do you know what I mean? It's just easy to use. It's something I've slightly held against the Armanis. Now, I know they were the first incarnation of these, well, it was certainly the first incarnation that I was exposed to. I find these a bit annoying because I tend to put on more product than I actually want. I also feel that the formula's been superseded, even though, you know, some of the shades are lovely. But just to compare, just to show you the comparison, actually, because it is, look, actually, am I doing that right? There we go. Can you see Lisa's is dead straight, whereas the Armani will pick up a bit more product, although horses for courses, I suppose, you can get it into the corner. It's just that, again, I have at times ended up putting on more product than I actually wanted. But anyway, that's, you know, I just thought that might be of interest. Okay, so I've put a little bit underneath before I digressed. I'll put a tiny bit more. Okay, that's what that looks like. Okay. Let's go on to the gloss and we'll see what everything looks like together. So this one is called Kensington Plum. And just to remind you, it looks like this. Described as a natural shade that's sparkly and great on its own, or you can just wear a lip liner. Now, I just wore what for me is a fairly neutral lip liner, so let's give this a go. The doe foot here doesn't pick up a lot of product. Depending on your point of view, you may want more. I'm kind of used to the, where is it? Yeah, I'm used to the, well, I have got, just because I've been wearing them so much, the YSL. And they are, it's a different formula, of course, but they are quite gloopy. So you do get a lot on the actual doe foot, which is quite a big fat one. These are not like that. These are more restrained. Now, certainly with these shades, it's probably not a bad thing because there's so much shimmer. So you do have a lot of control. But whereas with the YSL, 1 or 2 swipes and I'm done, this probably takes a little bit more. This is lovely as well, isn't it? What do you think? It's a lovely shade. It's kind of, what is it? It's actually got that warm, neutral quality to it, but with a little bit of a twist. I do like it. Very, very easy to wear. Lovely with this eyeshadow, but equally, if you were just going to be out the door and you just wanted some mascara and a bit of blusher, this is fine, isn't it? This is really, really lovely. I should tell you that these are £20 each. Now, you do get 4.5 ml of product. I just want to tell you, if you compare it to the Charlotte Tilbury Plumpgasm, with those you get 5.5mm, and with the YSL you get 6mm. Now there's obviously a price difference, but in terms of, you know, how quickly something's going to run out, it is worth knowing that there's less product. This is 4.5mm, so it is worth knowing that, actually. I will put the prices of all the other products here, and of course everything's down in the description box down below along with links, but it's kind of worth knowing. Now, in this kit, in a way, for me anyway, I get 3 lip glosses, I get my fix, I get my sort of holiday fix, and actually if any of these end up in the permanent collection, then, you know, I would take a view. So maybe it's a different proposition, but it's just worth knowing if, you know, if like me, you're somebody who always has a lip gloss on the go in a handbag, this may well, you may well go through this quicker than you think. I'm going to put a bit more on because why not? Okay. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Remember, that's what that looks like. I like the sparkle, but again, it's not too metallic-y for somebody like me who's not really a metallic lip product person, you know, with sort of the occasional exceptions. I'm going to bring you closer so you can have a look at the eyes now they've kind of fully dried, because as I said, this is very much the shade that Lisa herself is excited by. In her video, she does talk about this is the shade that she's always kind of chased and always wanted to do for runways. I do really, really like it. I do like a pewter shade generally. I really do. I like a grey actually as well. It's silver that's kind of, you know, can be problematic. So what do you think? What do you think? There's quite a range in her holiday releases, including a couple of lipsticks that for me weren't really of interest. However, I do believe that it is these two which effectively steals the show, not just the artwork, which is actually throughout her holiday range, but she's done something different, hasn't she, in my opinion. You know, the liquid Lurexes, these shades are just so wearable and fun and, you know, easy to build up and easy to use, great for gifts. I mean, who wouldn't want to receive one of these? I mean, I think I am going to be picking some of these up actually for gifts because they're just lovely. But also the lip glosses, I think, are just, you know, they're just lovely. The shades are lovely. They're just great fun. So it's not too much commitment. It's not too much, yeah, I suppose that's what it is. It's not too much commitment. It's just, you know, adding a little pizzazz, adding a little fun, but they're not so out there as to be scary. And I say that, you know, remember where we started with the silver and the fuchsia, you know, neither of those are kind of my colours, as it were. And they were still soft and easy to use. And I actually particularly like the lip gloss as well. The lip gloss itself, which I know I want to call fuchsia, but it's not called, it's called Peekaboo Pink. There we have it. Let me know down below what you thought of the shades, what you think of the idea of having some interesting artwork or just doing something that's, you know, different, but not necessarily screaming kind of, you know, the holiday vibe, as it were. And what did you think of the shade and the 3 looks? I love hearing from you. Do let me know. Please subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss more of the fun videos coming up. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.